How has FastFill been preparing for Dodd-Frank?
Regulatory change is one of the key inputs to our product strategy and product development roadmaps. So we consider regulatory reform. Being a global company, we are focused on both the US and Europe. So we have to consider that along with customer requirements, strategic development, and schedule releases and functionality accordingly. So we've had our product managers do an impact assessment of the pending regulatory changes across front, middle, and back office applications. And we've scheduled a few of those to meet the upcoming deadlines for CFTC Rule 1.73 and subsequent Dodd-Frank as well. So within the back office, there are changes to both LSOC, legally segregated and operationally commingled account treatment, as well as customer gross margining. In the middle office, we've had to enhance the give-up controls to accept positions based on trade volumes, as well as net positions for the executing brokers.
Tell us about the OrbitRisk platform and the status of its implementation.
OrbitRisk works by integrating back-office account data with real-time order and trade data. The key is being able to take interfaces from multiple systems, integrating to exchange fixed-drop copy feeds, integrating to third-party back-office systems, and bringing in real-time give-up position data. OrbitRisk is essentially ahead of its time, so there's been no recent changes that we've had to do to the application to be compliant with the new CFTC regulations. What we are seeing is customers adopt more of the functionality that has been inherent with the product architecture, specifically using both the trader and the client market and credit position limits.
How can CCOs and risk managers be certain the data they receive is accurate?
The key to understanding the data is getting it from the source. So when you think about trade data, the source is the exchange. That is gospel. When you think about post-trade data, the best source is from the clearinghouse. Now, FastFill is a front, middle, and back office solution provider. We have the applications and the interfaces to connect to those sources, so you're not dependent on receiving data directly from end clients.
Does this change with regard to block trades?
It does. Again, you have to consider the source and the best source for each individual data set. So block trades and the timeliness is really a function of the executing firm. But then once that's into the clearinghouse, we're able to receive that data, bring it in back to the firm's entire portfolio, and risk manage it accordingly in real time.
Are the CFTC's requirements something FastFill would have put in place regardless?
The CFTC requirements are not particularly onerous, meaning that the functionality to technically comply is available or is not an insurmountable challenge to enhance the products to support that. It's a much different question from the operational readiness of firms to meet the requirements in day-to-day operations. What it means is that you've got data flows in systems that may not be entirely joined up that break sort of the trade flow process. The CFTC requirements are now forcing firms to bring some of the post-trade data and apply that on a more real-time basis.
How have the regulatory changes been affecting FastFill?
I can certainly say that the regulatory changes are working in our favor to highlight some of the strengths of FastFill as a vendor, not just an execution platform or not just a back office vendor, but we do provide a full multi-asset front, middle, and back solution suite. So that allows us to better support these requirements as they move forward and bring some of this, previously post-trade T+1 functionality into a more real-time risk management application. It does go back to the difference between technical capability and the firm's operational readiness. So when you think about a new regulatory requirement or a new reporting interface that you have to send back to a clearinghouse, the code changes to provide that interface are relatively minimal compared to the downstream or upstream activities that need to take place in order for that to meet the exchange's cutoff times. So for example, having all your client positions fully allocated by a certain cutoff point in the day, that's where the real challenge lies for the industry, and it's with the FCMs. And as FastFill as a vendor, the best thing that we can do is make our systems as flexible and available and work with those firms, but it does become more of an operational challenge than a technical challenge.